So these are the soap molds, and I just absolutely love these things. I'll put a link to where you can get these in the description box below this video. These are seriously some of the coolest soap molds I own, and I own a lot of soap molds, so that is saying something. They come in a set of 7 for a little over 20 bucks, so that means each mold's only around 3 bucks, and being silicone, they'll last way longer than the standard plastic molds, so that's a pretty good deal. In the set you get R2, an X-wing fighter, the Boba Fett is a double, you get his helmet and the Mandalorian crest. Then there's Darth Vader himself, a Stormtrooper, the Millennium Falcon, and my personal favorite, Han Solo frozen in carbonite. They're made of really nice, very flexible silicone, so they're super easy to pop the soap out of, and they won't warp from the heat of the soap the way plastic molds do sometimes. Mine are currently covered in drops of soap because I'm making batches of soap all day and haven't cleaned them for the day yet, but another benefit of these is that they clean up really easily. Most of the soap drops just peel right off, leaving no residue, and they can just give them a quick rinsing. It's way easier than trying to clean the plastic molds. And so here's what the Millennium Falcon soap looks like. The detail in these molds is really amazing. And then here is the Han in carbonite and the R2 unit. And I only use the big molds on the Han and the R2 because the other ones are just too small for soap, though they might make really cute ice cubes as the molds were originally intended for, because these silicone soap molds are actually marketed as ice cube molds instead of soap, but they really work great for soap too. So, and I believe you can also use them for candy. I think they're food safe, they said. And then here is the Darth Vader and the Stormtrooper. The size of these molds, the rest of them other than the 3 big ones, that was like the one con of these molds, is that they're so small, so they're kind of hard to use for soap. So I kind of invented a way to fix them on my own, as I did here with the Mandalorian crest. I gave it a background of soap to make it larger and usable. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And here's the Boba Fett I did with the transparent soap background. With the actual helmet and solid soap in the background transparent, and doing that gives it kind of a cool, almost holographic appearance. And I did the same thing with the X-wing fighter. So using the big soap molds, heat up your soap, adding your chosen scent and color, and then pour them into the molds just like you would any other soap mold. Spray the backs with a little rubbing alcohol to pop the bubbles and give them a smooth finish. And when they're done, the soap pops right out of the mold. You can pop these out sooner than you can from plastic molds, which is great because it reduces the dreaded soap sweat, because you can get them into the packaging right away. Just stick them in a biodegradable bag and tie them with a little raffia for a nice natural gift for a geeky friend. So to enlarge the little soaps, I got a rectangular soap mold and poured a little covering of transparent soap into it, just enough to cover the entire bottom. And then you want to spray that with rubbing alcohol to smooth it. And when that layer is dry, mold yourself some opaque shapes from, I'm using the Darth Vader molds here, mold yourself a couple of opaque shapes and you'll put those in the rectangular mold on top of the transparent soap layer. And then spray everything in rubbing alcohol, so the multiple layers you're going to do here, you want them to adhere, and the rubbing alcohol helps them melt together without actually melting anything else. And then once you have the alcohol in there, pour some transparent soap around your Vader heads to hold them in place. When you're pouring, just make sure that you're pouring around them, not right on them, otherwise you'll ruin the design of them. And make sure your soap isn't too hot or you melt the Vader heads. And then spray everything with some more rubbing alcohol for a smooth finish. And when those have cooled, just pop out the soap bar and cut it down the center to make 2 soap bars. And if you don't like the transparent look, you can also use opaque soap for the background. Just use a different color than what the actual shape is. You want to use like a white or something like that, and that way you'll make the colored shape pop. And then this is what a whole batch of these looks like. See? I told you I'm making soap all day.